I think there were a few who witnessed the incident.
Oh, that complicates things. If there were too many witnesses, maybe you can instead invoke the mitigating circumstance of voluntary confession by confessing to committing the crime before the prosecution presents their evidence. While this means you can't avoid jail time, you can at least reduce the time you'll be spending in it. In addition, you can also invoke the mitigating circumstance of intoxication, since you were drunk that time as long as it's not habitual. You aren't an alcoholic, right?
Of course not.
Okay, good. While you can't totally avoid criminal and civil liability, at least you can significantly reduce your jail time with these two mitigating circumstances. Reckless imprudence resulting in less serious physical injuries is punishable by arresto mayor, which equates to 6 months imprisonment at the worst. Under the law, we can lower your penalty by a whole degree, so the most you can be jailed for is a month.
But actually, before I drove, I took a rest after my last shot at Makati, had coffee and tried to sober up. In short, I let a few hours pass from my last shot to the time I went behind the wheel.
Did anyone require you to submit blood sample or saliva for alcohol testing at the time of the incident?
No one. And I was not having blurry visions when I was driving, no sign of intoxication that would incapacitate me to drive.
Okay. Then the prosecution cannot prove drunk driving because there was no alcohol test done on you. But you need to cooperate, and I suggest you surrender before your arraignment so we can still avail of the mitigating circumstance of voluntary surrender. At most, it was a hit and run.
Is this bailable?
Yes, you can post bail. Less talk, less mistakes, okay? When you surrender, just narrate that you fled the scene out of panic. But after a few days, you came to your senses and decided to surrender.
What if they ask me if I was drinking?
You can invoke your right against self-incrimination. It is the prosecutor's duty to adduce evidence to show that you drank that night and that you were over the blood alcohol level at time of incident.
What if I just pay for the victim's hospital bills?
Yes, you can. I suggest that, in fact, if you pay the entire hospital bill, it is equivalent to actual damages. The victim no longer has a civil claim against you since double recovery on tortious incidents are not allowed. This also means less time in court.
All right. Let's prepare my surrender before the arraignment and let's post bail. Thank you, Attorney Baum.
What will happen in the case between Juan and Rodrigo? Find out in the next episode of Legal Medicine on the Road.
Created using Powtoon.